Lesson 6. Imagination. You can do it if you believe you can. Imagination is the workshop of the human mind wherein old ideas and established facts may be reassembled into new combinations and put to new uses. The modern dictionary defines imagination as follows: the act of constructive intellect in grouping the materials of knowledge or thought into new, original, or rational systems. The constructive or creative faculty, embracing poetic, artistic, philosophic, scientific, and ethical imagination. The picturing power of the mind, the formation of mental images, pictures, or mental representation of objects or ideas, particularly the objects of sense perception or of mathematical reasoning. Also, the reproduction and combination, usually with more or less irrational or abnormal modification of the images or ideas of the memory or recalled facts of experience. Imagination has been called the creative power of the soul, but this is somewhat abstract and goes more deeply into the meaning that is necessary from the viewpoint of a student of this course who wishes to use this course only as a means of attaining material or monetary advantages in life. If you have mastered and thoroughly understood the preceding lessons of this reading course, you know that the materials out of which you built your definite chief aim were assembled and combined in your imagination. You also know that self-confidence and initiative and leadership must be created in your imagination before they can become a reality. For it is in the workshop of your imagination that you will put the principles of autosuggestion into operation in creating these necessary qualities. This lesson on imagination might be called the hub of this reading course, because every lesson of the course leads to this lesson and makes use of the principle upon which it is based, just as all the telephone wires lead to the exchange office for their source of power. You will never have a definite purpose in life. You will never have self-confidence. You will never have initiative and leadership unless you first create these qualities in your imagination and see yourself in possession of them. Just as the oak tree develops from the germ that lies in the acorn and the bird develops from the germ that lies asleep in the egg, so will your material achievements grow out of the organized plans that you create in your imagination. First comes the thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. The imagination is both interpretive and creative in nature. It can examine facts, concepts, and ideas, and it can create new combinations and plans out of these. Through its interpretive capacity, the imagination has one power not generally attributed to it, namely, the power to register vibrations and thought waves that are put into motion from outside sources, just as the radio receiving apparatus picks up the vibrations of sound. The principle through which this interpretive capacity of the imagination functions is called telepathy, the communication of thought from one mind to another, at long or short distances, without the aid of physical or mechanical appliances, in the manner explained in the introductory lesson of this course. Telepathy is an important factor to a student who is preparing to make effective use of imagination, for the reason that this telepathic capacity of the imagination is constantly picking up thought waves and vibrations of every description. So-called snap judgment and hunches, which prompt one to form an opinion or decide upon a course of action that is not in harmony with logic and reason, are usually the result of stray thought waves that have registered in the imagination. The recently developed radio apparatus has enabled us to understand that the elements of the ether are so sensitive and alive that all manner of sound waves are constantly flying here and there with lightning-like speed. You have only to understand the modern radio outfit to understand also the principle of telepathy. So well has this principle been established through psychological research that we have abundance of proof that two minds which are properly attuned and in harmony with each other may send and receive thought at long distances without the aid of a mechanical apparatus of any sort. Rarely have two minds become so well attuned that unbroken chains of thought could be registered in this manner, but there is evidence sufficient to establish the fact that parts of organized thought have been picked up. That you may understand how closely interwoven are the 15 factors upon which this reading course is based, consider, for example, what happens when a salesman who lacks confidence in himself and his goods walks in to see a prospective buyer.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?